Okay. So in last session discuss about derived role and composite role also. Today we are going to discuss SAP system profiles. Hmm? That is a security concept. Assign T code manually, that is a security concept and సో అది కావాలంటే నేను చెప్తాను మీకు కావాలంటే నేను చెప్తాను అసైన్ టీ కోడ్ మాన్యువల్లీ సో చెప్తాను ఓకే సో సిస్టమ్ ప్రొఫైల్స్ T code is RZ10. So I think you know RZ10. So already we discussed RZ10 at the time of SAP star enable. So RZ10, so that is for system profiles. So see here at the time of SAP star enable, already we discussed we need to select default profile. Okay, so next extended maintenance and click on change. This is a process at the time of SAP star enable. So see here. So first of all, what is system profile? We'll discuss first system profile. Then we'll discuss the types of the profiles. Okay. So for example, if you see here, so whenever we install SAP, first we need to install Windows 2008 server as per the present server. So present we need to install Windows 2008 server. So after successful installation of the OS, we need to install SAP. Okay. So whenever we install SAP successfully, already we discussed. So we have two icons are we are able to see after SAP installation, successful installation, SAP management console and SAP logon. These two icons are created in desktop. Okay. So first we install the required OS, depends on the requirement, Linux or Windows, whatever it may be. So as per the present server, we install Windows 2008 server. After successful installation, SAP we install. So see here, we have two drives in the system, C drive and D drive. This is OS installation drive. This is SAP installation drive. This is SAP installation drive. Okay, so whenever we open this drive, so we got some more like the folders, program files, some related OS related files are we are able to see in C drive. So if we take D drive, the SAP related folders are there. Okay, so in this D drive we have a path. So see here C drive. So some J2SDK, some preference logs and program files x86, program data, users, Windows. So these are the default folders. Automatically these folders are created after OS installation. So if you take a D drive, see here, so ESR folder is there. ESR also having SAP folder, and SAP also having some more folders. So CCMS, DA, EH6, so preference logs and SAP trans. So these folders having the SAP folder, this folder. Okay. So apart from these 6 folders, double click on EH6. EH6 is our SID, system ID. So that's why double click on EH6. So we have three more folders also there: DVEBMGS, 66, SYS, and TMP. So apart from these three folders, so double click on SYS, then profile folder is there. Profile folder is there. Okay. So in this location, so we have profiles. Yeah, see here in this location the profiles are, we are able to see profiles. This is the default profile, default. This is startup profile, and this is a instance profile. So we have three types of profiles. So this is a path in OS level. D drive, see here, D drive. In D drive, USR folder is there. In USR folder, we have SAP folder is there. In SAP, we have ES6 folder is there, and sys folder is there. Profile folder is there. Okay, so this is the path. So at the time of SAP star enable, I remember the topic. So after completion of the all tasks, we need to restart. So why? Because the related the default profile also having in OS level. So what are the changes are happening in SAP level? So if you want to affect those, we need to restart the application server. So if you are not restart the application server, so those are not affected to the server. So what are the changes are happening in SAP level? Those are affected to OS level. This path, OS level profile also. Okay, so profiles are, we are able to see in SAP level and OS level. Okay, so that's why. So what are the changes are happening the profile? If you take start like a default profile or instance profile. So if you want to take the effect, so we need to restart the application server. Okay. So this is the OS level path. OS level path. RJ10 is the SAP level. We are able to see the profiles in RJ10. In RJ10, just click on the browser. See here. We have default profile. These are instance profile, and these are startup profile.
These are SAP profiles.
SAP profiles.
Those are
No, SAP profiles means SAP log in SAP level we are able to see this profile. So those are also SAP profiles. Okay, so in OS level also the OS level SAP profiles, but we are able to see in two level. We have two options: SAP level we are able to see, and as well as OS level also. So D drive is only for SAP. We select C drive for OS, D drive for SAP. So the SAP related files are located in SAP folder. Just double click on SAP. So these are the folders. Okay. So this is about profile. So profiles are automatically installed at the time of SAP successful installation. Only profile, the path is only profile path is ESR SAP SID. What is our SID? EH6. SID. In SID sys profile. This is the profiles path. Only profiles. We discuss about only profiles. This is the path, OS level path. If we take the SAP level path, RJ10 is the T code. Okay, so OS level. So in this location, we are able to see the profiles. In SAP, RJ10 is the T code. Okay, so this is. So see here. So whenever we install SAP, so in OS level, one path is created automatically for this profiles purpose. The path is so D drive. Why? Because according to the system, C drive is for OS, D drive SAP install system, and in D drive we have folder ESR. In ESR we have folder SAP. In SAP, see here SID. So here we are not mentioned EH6. Why? Because EH6 is our SID. So in organization, different SID is there. So that's why just mentioned SID, sys and profile. This is the path, voice level path. If you take SAP level path, RJ10 is the T code. So we need to import these voice level profiles to SAP level. Compulsory, this is mandatory. We need to import the voice level path profiles to SAP level. So what is the need for import these voice level profiles to SAP level? So if we are not import voice level profiles to SAP level, what happened? So see here, whenever try to enable SAP star, what is the process? First, what is the T code? RZ10. Okay, next,
Profile data.
click on profile. So for example, after SAP installation, we are not imported the voice level profiles to SAP level. Voice level already path is there, but we are not imported. What happened? Whenever I try to click on this profile, we got an error message. No profiles are found. In this system. Why? Because profiles is there, but those profiles are in voice level. So those voice level profiles we need to import to SAP level. So voice level to SAP level. We need to import voice level profiles to SAP level. If we are not imported, whenever we try to enable SAP star after SAP installation first time, so whenever click on the browser, profile browser, we got error message. No profiles are founded in the system. Okay. So without profiles, we are not able to enable SAP star. So compulsory we need to import the voice level profiles to SAP level. Okay, this is mandatory. So how to import? Just click on utilities at the top of window. We have option utilities option is there. Just click on utilities. Import profiles of active server. So this is the path. Import profiles of active servers. Just click on utilities, import profiles of active servers. Okay, so whenever we click on this of active servers, the OS level profiles automatically imported to SAP level within fraction of seconds. Yes. So see here, already profiles are there, but I try to import. So you import profiles of active servers. Yes. So see here. So if you want to check see here, D drive. This is also D drive. This is also. So this is a start profile. This is default profile. This is instance profile. So see here. Default profile. This is a instance profile. This is start profile. Okay. So automatically the voice level profiles are imported to SAP level. Okay. So it is not takes any time. In fraction of seconds, so the voice level profiles are imported to SAP level. Okay. So this is So if you are not imported the OS level profiles to SAP level, already we discussed. No? So when I try to click on the browser profiles browser, we got an error message. No profiles are founded. Okay, so compulsory we need to import the OS level profiles to SAP level. Okay, this is about profiles. So import profiles from OS level to SAP level is one of the post installation activity. So if you take SAP star, that is also one of the post installation activity. Okay, so import profiles from OS level to SAP level is one of the post installation activity. So next we have three types of profiles.
Real time version. Real time.
Same.
Same.
Everything is same.
Already ఉంటాయి.
At the time of SAP installation, I'm talking about. So SAP installation చేసిన సిస్టమ్ కొత్త ఇన్స్టలేషన్ సిస్టమ్ అనుకోండి మనం చేయాలి. ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ సిస్టమ్కి నో నీడ్. మీరు చేసినా ఏం కాదు, ఏం ఎఫెక్ట్ అవ్వదు, ఆల్రెడీ ఉంటుంది కదా, సో ఏం ఎఫెక్ట్ ఏం కాదు. ఓకే, సో నెక్స్ట్ డిఫాల్ట్ ప్రొఫైల్ మీన్స్ profiles are three types. SAP profiles are three types. First one is default profile. Second one is startup profile. Third one is instance profile. So we have three types of profiles. So profile path already we discussed now. D drive USR SAP SIDC is profile, that is voice level. In SAP level, RJ10 is the T code. So default profile, startup profile, and instance profile. So we have three types of profiles: default profile, startup profile, and instance profile. So what is default profile? What happened? So for example, whenever we add a parameter or existing parameter is there, so whenever we change the value of the parameter, existing parameter, so what happened in default profile? What about the startup profile, and what about the instance profile? We'll discuss. Okay, so first we'll discuss about the default profile. Default profile. So just remember RZ10 means SAP star enable process. So we need to select a default profile, and the process is, once the process is completed, so not only, for example, you try to log on with a newly created client, that is 005. So first time, so that's why we enable SAP star user. For example, after successfully login to 005 with SAP star and PASS, I'm going to create one more client, that is 006. Again, I need to enable SAP star. No need. Why? Because SAP star enable is one-time activity. And one more thing, we need to select default profile. That is mandatory. We need to select default profile. It means what are the changes are happening in default profile will affect for all clients, not only one client. For all clients, the changes will affected. Okay, so at the time of 005, we enable SAP star. Okay, so at the time of 006, new client, no need to enable SAP star. Why? Because that is so already enabled in default profile. So what are the changes are happening in default profile will affect for all clients in the server. Got it? So will affect for all clients in the server. Okay, so the changes, what are the changes are happening in default profile will affect for all the clients in the server. So default profile naming convention is default.pfl. This is the naming convention. In OS level, the path is, I'm trying to the path also, D drive, USR, SAP, and as per the present server, SID. This is SID. That is EH6, na? 6 sys profile default. Oh, there is no space. Actually, this is a path. Default profile path. In this default profile path, so we are able to see default.pfl. Okay, so this is naming convention. So what are the changes are happening in default profile will affect the server. Okay, so that is the default profile. Okay, so I will show you default profile in SAP level as well as OS level also. First, I will show you in SAP level. So in this is RJ10 window. Click on browser, double click on default profile. So extended maintenance. Otherwise, just click on display. So see here. So this is the default profile. So up to now, these are the parameters. We can add number of parameters. Depends on our requirement. So if you take SAP Star enable, we need to add login number of automatic user SAP Star. So like this, we can add number of parameters. Depends on our requirement only. Okay. So these are the values. These are the parameters with values. So present we are in a default profile. See here. Just RJ10. Select default profile. Click on display. So I'm not going to add any parameter. Just I want to see the parameters with values only. That's why I click on display. So if you want to add any parameter, extended maintenance, click on change. Okay. So see here. So these are the present parameters. SAP DB host Visu info EHP6. This is information. So what the parameters are still having the default profile. It shows host name Visu info EHP6 and SAP trans host name SAP Visu info EHP6 and so like this system client 001 and the database SID EH6 and SAP SID also EH6. So database SID, SAP SID should be same. Okay. So these are the global values. It means, for example, if you take EH6, only one EH6 is there, and if you take database SID, only one database SID is there, for entire system. Okay. So this is about default profile. See here, version means the 22 times some changes are happening in this default profile. So 22 times some changes are happening in default profile. So next one is, okay. So next one is startup profile. Start profile or startup profile, both are same. Startup profile path is as per the present system D drive, USR, SAP, and EH6. Sys profile start underscore dvbmgs. Some path is there, so I will show you the path also. So startup profile. Startup profile is used for only to start SAP and stop SAP. Start SAP and stop SAP. So are you remember how to start SAP and how to shut down SAP? So at the time of start SAP, internal process is OS, next OS collector, that's the first OS collector, next database, next central instance, next dialog instance. So this is a sequence. So OS collector, in OS collector, you check out the profile, startup profile is available or not in OS level. This is the part. So in D drive, USR, SAP, SIDC profile, in profile, startup profile is available or not, it check. So if the startup profile is not available, SAP system is not going to start. Already we discussed that point now. Okay, so this is mandatory. Startup profile is mandatory for start and stop also. Okay, so startup profile is only for start SAP and stop SAP. So at the time of start, it check out the profile is existing or not. At the time of stop, so it check out the profile is existing or not. If the profile is not there, the system, the SAP is not able to start. So this is very, very important. So OS collector, check. So whether the startup profile is existing or not. If startup profile is not existing, SAP will not be started. So we should not delete it. Okay, got it. So very, very important startup profile. So there are in startup profile no parameters, no values. So this is only for start SAP and stop SAP. Whenever we try to start SAP, so the voice collector check out this path. the drive USR SAP SIDC's profile, startup profile is existing or not. If the startup profile is existing, this is going to be start. At the time of SAP stop also, so you check out the profile is existing or not. Okay, so if profile is not there, SAP will not be started. Why? Because in that profile, database is there, database related settings and dispatcher work process, those settings are there. That's why first you check out the profile. So here in this startup profile, no parameters, no values, only start SAP and stop SAP purpose. So this is very very important. Okay, so we should not delete the startup profile. So if we delete it, so SAP is not started and SAP will not be stop also. Okay, so this is startup profile and startup profile naming convention also there. Startup profile naming convention also there. That is, so this is a startup profile naming convention. So once you check out the voice level, startup profile naming convention, D drive, SR SAP, this is our SID, SID sys and profile. So in here, startup. So see, check out we start underscore dvbmgs 66 underscore visu info ehp6. This is startup profile as for the present server. So check out in SAP level RJ10. Check out this is startup profile. Start underscore dvbmgs 66 visu info hp6. Okay, so this is no. So what is start? What is underscore? What is dvbmgs? What is 66? What is info hp6? So see here. So this is start means so. So going to start. D dialog work process. V update work process. E enqueue work process. B background work process. M stands for message server. G for gateway. 66. What is 66?
Instance name.
Yes, exactly. Instance number. That is so present. So check out instance number. Okay, that is instance number 66. And what about Visu info HP6? System name. That is also called as host name. Okay, system name or host name. So check out system name. This is SAP install system. Properties. Host name or system name, both are same. Okay, so that is the meaning of that startup profile naming convention. Start underscore 5 types of work process 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 and 5 message server gateway instance number host name. Okay, so this is startup profile. Startup profile is only for to start SAP and stop SAP. That is the main purpose, and we should not delete the startup profile in voice level. If we delete it, SAP will not be started. That's a very important point. So next one is instance profile. So already default profile we will discuss, but so default profile, so there is no explanation for default profile. So there is no explanation. Okay, so next one is instance profile or instance specific profile.
You have to check voice level and voice level checking.
What is it?
Check చేయాలంటే everything given first voice లో check చేయాలి తర్వాత
SAP లో. Third one is instance profile. Okay, the path is D drive SR SAP sorry, SAP and SID sys profile instance profile, that is EH6. So we have a path. So instance profile, this is quite opposite of default profile. So if you take default profile, so already we discussed na, what are the changes are happening in default profile will affect for all clients na. But here what are the changes are affected, so what are the changes are happening in instance profile, those changes are will affect within the instance only. So present, so in which instance we are working, in that instance only those changes are happened. Okay. Within the instance only. Okay, so what are the changes are happen in instance profile will affect within the instance only, or not all instances. So present as per the present server, we have only one instance is there, that is 66 instance. So once we log into SAP with the 66 instance and go to RJ10, select instance profile. So what are the changes are happen in the instance, those effect are affected within 66 instance only, not affected to all if we have more than one instance. Okay, so the naming convention is default, sorry, instance profile naming convention is SID DVMGS instance number host name. This is a naming convention. This is instance profile, this is the naming convention. So remember this naming convention. So see here, so EH6, our SID is EH6, SID DVABMGS 60 SID and instance number underscore host name. So SID is EH6. No? So 5 types of purposes, one message server, one gateway. This is instance number and this is the host name. Okay, so I will show you in SAP level also. RJ10, click on the browser. So instance profile, this is the instance profile. Some 4 times, so some changes are happening in this instance. So that's why version 4. Okay, extended limits. So click on change. Actually, this is a window. So here, what is the use of this instance profile means? So see here. So are you remember this parameter?
Yeah.
R this purpose number of R this purpose number of BTC, R this purpose number of NQ, VB, VB2, SPO. Okay, so these are the 5 types of purposes.
Number of dialog purposes.
Yes, number of dialog purposes. Present as per the present server, we have 10 dialog purposes are there. So three background purposes are there. Not one, two update purposes are there. One NQ purpose is there and school. Okay. So for example, so these are it shows like dialog is 10, background 3. So for example, background jobs. So like client copies are going to schedule today at 10 p.m. So that's why I need more background work process. In night time, less number of dialog work process and more number of background work process we need. So that's why see here, I'm going to select instance profile, and so these are changeable format. These are opened in editable formats. That's why I'm going to delete 10, only 2. Minimum we need to maintain dialogue and background we need to maintain 2 process. So that's why 2, and the remaining 8 purposes are there. Na? So I'm going to add these 8 purposes with 3. So total 11. So click on copy. The process is same at the time of SAP star enable process. Click on copy, click on back. It asks the profile is changed. Do you want to save? The process is common. So after restart the server, application server, so these are affected. Dialog purpose. If we go to if we go to SM50, the list of in that list of purposes. So after restart the server, why? Because this is RZ10. So this window is RZ10. So in RZ10, whatever change affected, we need to restart. Then only the effects are affected. So see here, after restart the application server, so present 10 dialog work processes are there. Na? In the place of 10 dialog work processes, only 2 dialog work processes are displayed. Remaining means 8 background work processes are displayed. So we are not restarted. That's why those are not affected. Just to changes, we change the value only, but we are not restructured. That's why it displays 10 dialog work process. Okay, ఇంకా రీస్టార్ట్ చేయలేదండి. రీస్టార్ట్ చేస్తే ఇవి చేంజ్ అయిపోతాయి మొత్తం. సో ఈ 3 కాస్తే 11 అవుతాయండి బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్. మీన్స్ ద వర్క్ ఈస్ కంప్లీటెడ్ క్విక్లీ. వై? బికాస్ సో 3 people చేసే వర్క్ ని 11 people తో చేపిస్తున్నాం. సో ద వర్క్ ఈస్ కంప్లీటెడ్ క్విక్లీ కంపేర్ విత్ ప్రీవియస్. గట్ ఇట్? So the changes will affect within the instance only. అది మీ default profile ఇటు ఈ పారామీటర్స్ ఉండవండి, చెక్ చేసుకోండి కావాలంటే. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇన్స్టాన్స్ ప్రొఫైల్ will affect within the instance only. Got it? So this is about profiles parameter concept. And one more thing, very very important point, every instance should be having one startup profile, one instance profile, plus commonly one default profile. Startup profile, compulsory instance profile, instance are like a central in dialog instance is different. Instance profile is different. Don't confuse here. So dialog instance, central instance, but here instance profile. Okay, so in central this is a instance profile, and this is a default profile. Okay, every instance should be having one startup profile, one instance profile, one default profile. So default profile is only one. So number of startup profiles and number of instance profiles are there, but the default profile is only one. If you take any instance, default profile is only one. Okay, so see here. So I will ask you one thing. For example, one instance is there. How many profiles are there?
3.
Yes, 1 into 2 plus 1. How many? 3. So why? Because in these two, one is startup, one is instance. Okay, so for example, 3 profiles are there. Sorry, 3 instances are there. How many profiles? 3 instances are there. How many profiles? 3 into 2 plus 1 is common. Only one. If you take any instance, only one default profile. Okay, so that's how many?
7.
Okay, 7. For example, 7 instances are there. How many profiles total? 15, no? Okay, so next, 15 instances are there. How many profiles?
31.
Okay, so 31 instances are there. How many profiles? 63. 63 instances are there. How many profiles? 127. So 127 profiles are 127 is there. How many profiles? Hmm? 2. So this is wrong. Hmm?
99 0 to 99 మనకి instance.
So this is also wrong, na? So వీటిలో ఏది రాంగ్ చెప్పండి. Which is wrong?
Last రెండు wrong.
ఫస్ట్ నుంచి రాంగా?
Last రెండు wrong.
Hmm?
Last రెండు wrong.
Why? Because
0 to 99
వరకు ఇన్స్టెన్స్.
okay, these are profiles, not instance. 127 is the profile.
ఇది 127 అనేది instance.
ఇది okay in instance. This is instance. This is instance. This is profile. So this is correct. This is wrong. Why? Because if you take any server, 00 to 99 is the instance range. So this is wrong. This is right. The number of profiles okay, 127 okay. Okay, so this is wrong. So this type of questions in interviews we need to face. One of our student faced this question. Okay, so తను కూడా మీలాగే 255 చెప్పారని. So this is about.
What will also like it? What will also?
Yeah, you ask the same. So తను అడిగారండి. సో 1 ప్రొఫైల్కి ఎన్ని, సో ఇలా కౌంట్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళారు. తను కరెక్ట్గా చెప్పారండి. But he is not concentrated on instance number. He is concentrated only calculations, like you.